Hello and welcome to Lead On. My name is Gayla Bartlett, and this is our show all about community leaders, people in our communities doing wonderful things to help others. I am very excited today to have with me the governor of the New England and Bermuda District of Kiwanis, Kristin Holden. Welcome, Kristen. How are you?
I'm good, Gayla. How are you? Thank you so much for inviting me to talk to you today.
Absolutely, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
So, for everybody at home, if you don't know, I am a Kiwanian, so I'm sure you all know that by now. But the Kiwanis year starts October 1st. So, I think that's important to know that we start our year in October. Governor Kristen has been in her position since October, so she's already been out in the communities that we serve and visiting with clubs and seeing service projects. So first of all, Kristen, I know you're busy, so thank you for taking the time today. Can you tell us, the question we all get asked, why did you decide to join Kiwanis?
So, the first part of it is I was asked. So that's probably the number one piece of being a Kiwanian is being asked. But for me, it actually started back in middle school. So I was a part of what Kiwanis calls our service leadership programs. So I was in the Builders Club in middle school, and I was in the Key Club in high school. And I really credit Key Club with being making me who the person I am today. So I wanted to be able to give back to an organization that had given me so much in my childhood and helped me make me who I am today. And it's not only being able to give back to the people that are in the community in Middletown, Connecticut, which is where I live, but also within New England and throughout the world. So I think it's really important. It's great to see the impact that I'm doing locally, but also the impact that as a group of Kiwanians we were able to do to everyone in the world.
Which is wonderful. And you are the sixth female governor, number six, with
Yep.
our 107-year history here in New England and Bermuda. So, another great question, Kristen, and I'm sure people are like, wow, only six. Well, that's because women didn't get into Kiwanis. They weren't allowed into the organization until the 80s. So, it took us a little while to get in there, but we're there, which is great.
Mhm.
Can you tell our viewers at home why you decided to run for governor?
So I'm actually the second youngest governor. I
Oh, I
think
missed that. I did
we
female.
figured
I didn't
out
know you wanted to be second youngest too. She's really pushing the envelope today, everybody. Okay.
it was a conversation that came up this weekend. So they figured that out. For me, it was kind of taking it to the next level. Actually, Gayla, you were a big part of me wanting to be in this role, and actually two former female governors, Vesta Brown and Elise DeNorfia, were also kind of integral in showing me what the role of governor can do. And so I wanted to be able to give back to this organization in a different way than I've been giving back up to this point. So I felt that it was something that was really important for me to do, and I felt that I had the leadership skills and the organizational skills necessary to be able to do that. And so that was something that I took the leap 2 years ago because for in Kiwanis for governor, and something that I really like is there was the year for the election, but then there's also a year of planning. So when I went into my role officially on October 1st, I had actually had a year of planning, working with my board, which you are a part of, and thank you very much. So that has been a really big part of Kiwanis. And then I will actually stay on next year to help guide the person that is taking over after me, Adam Wright. So does that kind of answer your question?
That does answer my question perfectly. And for those and I know my viewers at home know that I was governor. Like you said, Kiwanis has always been a part of my life. And, I've met some of my best friends in Kiwanis, as have you.
Mhm.
But also, Kristen was my outstanding lieutenant governor when I was governor because she is a rock star, and the imagination, the creativity, the love and compassion that you have, it comes out in everything you do. I have my goosebumps. And then your heart is Kiwanis, which is beautiful. So I'd like you to just tell us, what are some of your visions? Actually, you can tell us all of them because I know every governor has a different approach. Every governor has different things they really want to get out there to the clubs, to the members, to the communities. So you have already started doing some amazing things and differently than other governors have done, which is great. So can you tell everybody what your goals are for this year, your year as governor?
So one of the big things that I wanted to do is I wanted to take so our communication. So it actually is kind of it's layered in different areas. So I wanted to take the major publication that our district has, the Kiwanian. It used to be quarterly. It used to be about 40 pages. I wanted to take it to into our times right now. So it's digital. It was always digital, but taking it digitally so that people are getting it on a monthly basis. So they're seeing not only what clubs are doing currently or what they did in the last month, but also what's coming up in the next month. It was always very hard writing for it, writing almost 2 months prior to when it was actually going to be published, and thinking about what I wanted to say, even though we were a couple months away from when it was actually going to hit the publication. So that's been a really big thing, and it also is getting out to all of the Kiwanians via constant contact. So we're having a huge open rate, and I think that's something that's allowing clubs to communicate with each other, share ideas. I think one of the biggest things in Kiwanis is that while each club is an individualized club, we are a part of obviously the larger organization, and so it is great for me to be able to share those ideas, and for clubs to take back into their own community an idea that maybe a club in New Hampshire is doing that they bring back into their club here in Connecticut. So I think that's been a huge piece of it. My lieutenant governors have been communicating with their clubs. I've asked them to communicate every month. And also share with the clubs within. So the lieutenant governor, for those of you who don't know, is charge of typically about 8 clubs. So we have 123 clubs within the district right now. I obviously can't communicate with every one of them. So that is
Right.
why I have my lieutenant governors, of which Gayla is a part this year. So thank you very much. And those lieutenant governors are the ones that are communicating with the presidents, communicating with the officers to let them know what's going on, both from an international level down to the division level. So really hoping to get more of that communication out there. Also encouraging interclubs. So that has been a big thing. COVID for interclubs are when more than one club gets together, and whether it's at a meeting or a service project. I think it's a great way to meet people and to share ideas. As Gayla said, friendships are formed. I have many friendships that are both locally here in Connecticut, but also throughout the district and throughout the world. And so a lot of that has come through the fellowship aspect of Kiwanis. And so I wanted to keep encouraging that to keep happening. I'm also have been encouraging more involvement with our service leadership programs. So they are key to not only keeping Kiwanis growing, but key to developing youth throughout the world. So not just Kiwanians, but also instill in our youth the love of service and giving back to those that are less fortunate and those in need, and also just growing in leadership skills. So that has been another big piece of what I've wanted to do. And I've also been getting out there. I pretty much have been traveling every weekend since I started. Actually, it started back in September. I was traveling around. So that's been a big thing. I want the clubs to know they're not alone and know that they're supported. So that has been another big thing that I've been working on. We've also been working on growing not only the clubs that we have existing, but also growing 2 new clubs. So we have a club that we're working on in Upper New Hampshire, Vermont, as well as one in Mid-Coast, Maine. So that is something that we're trying to continue to grow Kiwanis to bring it to more communities within our New England area.
Wonderful. And Governor Kristen has said she has been on the road. If you go to the New England and Bermuda District Facebook page, you can see some of the magic that she has done. But Kristen, just tell us a few of the highlights, some of the things you've done, because keeping up with you it's just, I don't know how you're doing your calendar, because every day it seems she's doing something, planning something on a call. But where have you been so far in our wonderful New England and Bermuda District?
So I checked off a bucket list item recently. So Gayla, you had helped me with that. So I did a Habitat for Humanity build up in Amesbury, I think it
Hamilton.
was. So
Yep.
that was something that I really enjoyed doing and getting to see happen firsthand. So I also got to meet some clubs that have not been active in the district in a while. So thank you to Gayla for growing that and growing that relationship. Another one that I did was actually the collegiate level of our service program, Circle K. They do a breakfast with Santa, so they had over 500 kids and their family members come to this huge breakfast at the Westfield State university, and it was amazing to see just the happiness of the kids. They got to talk to Santa, they got to do crafts, they got to have pancakes and hot cocoa. So it was a really fun afternoon for the kids to just enjoy time with their family. So that was something else that I loved. I've done a couple of food packing events. So that is something that we partner with End Hunger New England, and is something that I enjoy doing. I think I've done 3 to this point, and I have a couple more on the schedule. Also, the Monster Bash up in Lowell. That was something that has been going on for 24 years, and it's amazing to see what this club does. And again, it's something that's free to the community, that brings the family together, which is something that I'm really happy for. So I guess those are some of the highlights from the last couple of months, but also just the meetings and the social. So I've been to a couple of holiday parties, so it's also just fun to get out there and see what's going on.
That's great. And I think what else is important is, you talk about your friendships, you talk about how we meet. You have your own class of governors, and I know
Mhm.
I'm close to 2 of mine. They came and flew in for my birthday party. So you make friends with people that you wouldn't necessarily ever meet, which is huge.
No.
But, sometimes if we're lucky enough, we find love in a service organization. If you wanted to tell us how you met your true love, that would be great.
So my true love, Chris, it's kind of, it was 11 years ago. We'd actually known each other prior to when we officially started dating, but we were in different parts, we lived in different parts of Connecticut. Um, and different clubs. So we kind of crossed paths over the years, but um, in Kiwanis, there's a tradition of being escorted in if you're a lieutenant governor at their installation dinner, and so our mutual friends had recommended that Chris invite me to be his escort for the dinner. So we kind of got to talking, and after that, I happened to be in the area for a doctor's appointment, and I had asked him to go out to dinner with me, and so the rest is kind of history from that. It's been great. He is actually the president of the Foundation of New
Mm-hmm.
England. So that is the fundraising arm of our district. So he's been in that position now for 3 years. It's a role that takes a little while to get into. So it's great that both of us are at this point together. So when I'm traveling around, he's also traveling with me. So clubs can kind of get the best of both worlds and getting information not only about the district but also about the foundation piece of the district and the different projects that we offer through that. So it's been great having him along the road, but it's also been great having my friends too. So if sometimes Chris can't come, I get to tag along with some of my other Kiwanis friends. So that's great, and I always look forward to seeing them when we're at our service projects. And it's also our daughter. Is also a huge part of Kiwanis too. Whenever she's back from college, is joining us for projects, and she's actually going to be joining us down in Bermuda in May when I go down for
Really?
my
Oh, the
governor's
governor's
business
trip to
day.
Bermuda, she's going.
Mhm. And
Ooh,
yep,
she's
we talked
loving
about it
you.
last night at dinner, and she's really excited.
Oh,
So
that's
I'm
great.
excited to be able to share that with her.
That's
So,
amazing. And
yep.
also, she designed your pin.
Yes, she did. Yep.
So,
So we'd asked her to do it, and so every governor gets a pin, and they can either give it out or sell it as a fundraiser. And so she had designed the pin for me with my goal kind of being together we can. So not only impacting the lives of those within our communities through Kiwanis, but also growing as an individual. And so that has kind of been my motto of my year. And so she had created the pin. And so some of my funds are going, or $5 of every pin raised is going to help the service leadership programs of Builders Club and Circle K, sorry, Builders Club and K Kids, and then the other part is going to help an organization called Q Plus in the Connecticut area that supports the LGBTQ youth here in Connecticut. So it's 2 programs that are near and dear to my heart.
and I think that's amazing. And, for the viewers at home, too, that a governor can make such an impact even from the sale of a pin. So,
Yep.
something as simple as a pin. Kiwanians, I say, are like Girl Scouts. We collect our pins. We're very, we have to have all the pins on our jackets, and every governor has to be represented, or every special occasion, or when we go to Kiwanis International conventions. So I think that's just beautiful that she designed that for you. And
Yeah.
there are so many other opportunities. I know right now we are working on the Possibility Project for Kiwanis
Yep.
International. So if you'd like to give us a quick little blurb about what that's about and how we as a district help out with that.
So, as with the Kiwanis Foundation of New England, there's the international fundraising arm of Kiwanis International, and so that's the Children's Fund. So the Children's Fund decided this year that they are going to do I believe it's 5 years, and it's called the Possibility Project. And so what they are doing is raising funds that are then going to go back into our communities. So there has been for a number of years grants that are available to clubs, but now they are doing something called micro grants as well. So for clubs that have less members but still want to raise funds or get funds for a project that they don't have the money for, or don't have the ability to raise the funds for. It's a way for them to be able to access those funds to be able to do the service in their communities. So that is something that they have been working on. We have what's called a possibility champion here in New England that's working on raising those funds. So it's a great way to continue to impact those clubs locally. We have in the past, we've done our previous project was the Eliminate Project, which eliminated maternal and neonatal tetanus from the globe, as well as when I was actually in Key Club, the project was IDD, so iodine deficiency disorder. So and that has both of those programs are actually a partnership through UNICEF. So it was great to see that both of those programs, through the work of Kiwanis, have actually eliminated both those issues from the globe today.
Which is amazing. And
Yeah.
it's so wonderful to see that so many Kiwanians come together for a united cause. And no matter where you are, you can be here in Danvers, Massachusetts, and email someone out in Japan that is
Mm-hmm.
in a Kiwanis club, and you can talk about
Yep.
things that you are doing together to make the world a better place, which is beautiful.
Yeah.
And
And we have some clubs that, we have members out here in the U.S., but the club is based in Africa. There's
right.
one Equans club that I think encompasses people from all over the globe.
Mm-hmm.
So it's great to see that, we can do that. And even in New England, we have an Equanas club. So we have members from all over New England. We also have some people that have migrated to warmer climates that are still members of New England through being a member of the Kiwanis Club. So it's great that those connections can still stay there, even if geographically we can't be together in person.
Absolutely. And there's no reason you can't join a Kiwanis Club. If you physically can't get to a meeting, like you were
Yep.
saying, Governor Kristen, the Kiwanis Club is a wonderful choice. And
Yep.
they do service.
And they do
So
service.
they do
Yes.
service,
Yep.
they do fundraising.
Hmm. And it's great. I mean, even my club, sometimes I can't get to the meetings with my work schedule. But they know that I'm there to support in other ways. While I love to be at the meetings, sometimes it just is not feasible during the workday. And so, and for everyone's schedule.
Mm-hmm.
But that's, I think the beauty of Kiwanis is that you can be able to help in whichever way you can. So whether that's with the fundraising of the service or, getting speakers for meetings, which is something I love about our meetings is finding out more about what's in our community. So I really enjoy that piece of it as well.
Which is great because Kiwanians are always looking for new organizations to help and to
Yep.
partner with. So you never know where you're going to find that next partnership. So
Yes.
that's
Yeah.
wonderful. And as we
Yeah.
go forward into 2025, because we're a couple of days in now, what
Yes.
would you like to tell everybody that is they have time but they're not sure if they want to join a service organization? And what is your recommendation? What sets Kiwanis apart from the other service organizations in your mind?
So one of the things I think, for Kiwanis, for me, there is the flexibility there. Some organizations are not as flexible in terms of, you have to be at every meeting. The fact that each club is unique. So as part of my governorship, having been able to get around and see the different clubs, I'm really truly realizing that is truly something that I think is a gift to this organization, and to its members. And so, to be able to, if the club that is in your town maybe isn't the right fit, the town next door may have a club that is perfectly catered to what you're looking for. So I think I love that aspect of it. I love the fact that, I'm continuing to grow as an individual. So yes, I'm giving back as a to the service of my community, but I'm also continuing to learn more about myself. I don't think I realized how much, I was going to grow as an individual, through the different roles I've had, in Kiwanis. So, with each new role, I'm learning new stuff about myself. An old dog can always learn new tricks. And so, I think that's very true. And so I think as part of your membership, that is something you continue to grow as an individual. So you're not just required to continue to do the same things over and over again. And even if your, background, Gayla, I know you love the PR piece of things, and that is something that you help out our clubs with. But if it wasn't something that you enjoyed doing, but you enjoyed doing the money side of things, you can also help out with that. And so that's something I think that, is great about the organization. Even if you have one skill set, you're still welcome to go out and learn a new skill set, as well. So to help the organization. So I think that's something, that is really great, and also just helping the kids. So the service leadership programs, I think, really set us apart from other service organizations. And I think it's something that is key, and something that we'll continue to support for years down the road. And Key Club is actually, celebrating its 100th anniversary this year.
That's great.
So that's just a testament to, how impactful, Kiwanis is.
Wonderful. Well, Governor Kristen, thank you so much for taking time today. You are such an amazing, dynamic person. I am so proud to know you, and so proud to be on your board and to watch you develop and lead the district, because you have passion, compassion, heart, and love, and you are just the essence of Kiwanis. So thank you so much for spending the
Thank you.
time with us. And make
Thank you
sure
so
you
much for
join
having
us
me.
next time as we come here back to the studio here in DCAT for our next episode of Lead On, where we'll meet some other community leaders that are doing amazing things every day. Take care, Danvers.